Hooters. Right now, Celebrity Sleaze with Leslie Fram.
Little update for you about Sydney Sweeney. Did you watch that movie yet? That was your homework assignment.
It just came on rental. I could not bring myself to pay $20.
I was like, "Did you pay $20 for this movie?" I'm like, "Yeah."
But now I'll rent it for $5. I swear I will watch it.
Okay. Well, she's in a bit of a pickle. You know, on SNL over the weekend, she did a parody on Hooters. Did you see that?
Why is it a pickle?
Well, it's a pickle because the folks from Hooters, the restaurant chain based here in Atlanta, they went on social media to challenge her to work one more shift at their establishment. They said they would donate that day's proceeds to the V Foundation for Cancer Research. The V Foundation even showed their support with, a little parody. So they are asking Sydney Sweeney to do a shift at Hooters. Will she do it?
The CMO of Hooters lives here and I believe is a listener, Bruce Scala.
Should we get him on the air?
We should, but I saw him post about that he offered it to her, and that was brilliant to attach that charity to it. Why not?
Yeah, because how do you say no?
Right.
If it was just a random come work at the restaurant, but no, now you're like, there's a charity, the whole day's proceeds.
Well played, Bruce. Well played.
I have an update for you, another update, Barnes.
What?
You're going to be like, why? Okay. Remember we talked about Reesa?
Okay.
The TikTok series that went viral.
Is it Reesa or Reesa Teesa?
Well, it says here. Hold on here.
I don't know the answer. It's Reesa Teesa.
Okay.
I just looked.
Reesa Teesa. Who the F did I marry? Yeah. That series, which has gone viral on TikTok.
Which I think's a lie, which I said. I think that's all made up.
I guess it doesn't matter because she's signed with CAA now.
What?
For representation.
You've got to be kidding me.
She did a 50-part TikTok series that's earned more than 400 million impressions in under just 3 weeks. Of course, someone's going to notice. That is an overnight sensation. Now, the videos, which debuted on TikTok on Valentine's Day, recall her marriage and split from who she claims is a pathological liar. She's already appeared on Good Morning America, The Tamron Hall Show, and NBC News. I already knew this story was not going to always make me look good at all. Well, it was worth some embarrassment. It was cathartic, and it was also very emotional and very hard at times. It'll assume you'll see Reesa Teesa's story coming to a streaming service near you.
You have got to be kidding me. And the guy is supposedly suing her, and now he's got even more juice to go after.
She just signed with CAA. She could have a Netflix series. You know how quickly they turn things around?
But everyone's already seen it. We already know the story.
It doesn't matter. What about all these podcasts that get turned into series?
You know how hard it is to get represented by CAA? We're talking about top shelf, and they brought in Reesa Teesa?
400 million impressions in under 3 weeks, Barnes.
Wow. I still think it's a perfectly made up situation. I just don't believe it.
Doesn't matter if it's true or not. It makes for a good story.
Okay.
Oh, let's go to the Kelly Clarkson show. Hoda was on. Kotb. She's in Jimmy's top 5. Remember that?
I know.
She revealed that she went on a date for the first time in 2 years.
I had a date. That's huge. That's huge, even to be in a place to do that.
But what it was? Just a date. It was nothing but a date.
Come on. What time does she have to go on dates anyway? Whoever it is would be, you know what I mean? That'd be hard to date her.
I'll have coffee between 3:30 and 4.
No, 3:30 and 3:35
a.m. Yeah.
She probably gets up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
But then Kelly started admitting to her that she's more than thrilled not to have a man in her life after her messy divorce. Go on, Kelly.
It's just too hard. There's too much.
What makes it too much? Just
There's
everything.
all the jobs, plus the kids, plus being present for the kids while you're there.
Yes.
Because sometimes people will still email you. And I'm like, no, we're home now.
We're home now.
We're not doing this.
She basically said what I just said.
Yeah.
Which, think about it. The people who don't, are you a person that, no, you don't. You don't,
what?
At 5 o'clock, you don't stop answering emails.
Oh, no. I'm like, 9 o'clock at night, we're watching TV, and I got my, my phone next to me.
The people who do that, and I know some of them, and some of them work here. Surprise, surprise. It doesn't work like that. I get it. You need that, but they'll be the first to bitch and moan when they don't have a job. That, I would take calls at any time.
It's insane.
You just kind of need to do what's warranted. I'm not saying you have to be on all the time. But if someone needs something and you're the person holding up the train, you're the one who's the problem.
It's me. I'm the problem.
But do you agree or is that too harsh?
No, I agree.
You need that balance, but you also need that balance in your checkbook. I'm just saying.
Can we move on?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Jake Tepper from CNN?
Yes.
He was interviewing Nikki Haley, and he had a little Freudian slip.
The Colorado Supreme Court, of course, wasn't saying, their official explanation was not they didn't like Donald Trump. They said he participated in an insurrection. And I have to, an insurrection. And I have to say, I got up at 5 this morning to do Casey Hunt's show, and I'm exhausted.
Wasn't he already sued for his erection problem?
I mean, that... First of all,
totally different lawsuit.
I love that he had to say, I overslept, or I got up early, and.
But then he was slurring, and it sounds like when he said erection, then he said it again. He was trying to say insurrection, but it was a lazy insurrection.
Speaking of Hailey Baldwin Bieber setting the record straight this week. She shared a post on her Instagram story addressing social media post about her life with Justin Bieber. Quote, "Just FYI, the stories and constant blind items I see on TikTok are 100% of the time wrong, made out of thin air, come from the land of delusion. So I know it may be fun feeding into these stories, but just know they're always false, XX. Sorry to spoil it." Yeah, well, she's talking about her dad, remember? Stephen Baldwin, saying to pray for her.
Maybe this was a ploy to distract the media, because right now all the audio is getting out of his brother, of Alec, and his case, and all the different people speaking up and out.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the idea, but I don't think that's going to do it.
You know who Bunny is, don't you?
Bunny, the wife of Jelly Roll?
Yeah, she has a podcast called Dumb Blonde. Well, Renee Graziano says she nearly lost her life when she overdosed last year on a bad batch of drugs, which she calls her come to Jesus moment, and finally got her clean. She's a star of The Mob Wives. Well, she was on with Bunny, and in a sneak peek clip from their chat, it's going to air fully this week, you can hear Renee get into the details of an OD that she suffered in 2023, which ultimately sent her to Odom Recovery Group.
I died in a restaurant in Florida. I was dead. Intubated for 3 days. No one in my family came to the hospital, and I spent 9 days there learning how to walk again. That was it for me.
That is sad. This is funny. Adam Sandler admitting on the podcast with Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend that he loses his cool around Taylor Swift because she's so important to his kids.
Taylor Swift, because what she means to my your kids. Yeah, I get a little jumpy, or like I'm this guy because I don't want to blow up for my kids, so I'm a little like Taylor, like I talk a little too loud or something. I don't act as cool as I can.
I mentioned I listened to that podcast, but I have skipped that episode. I just can't. I can't do it.
I like Adam. I know you don't like him,
I can't do it.
Yeah. Here's another one. Jim Gaffigan. He was on with Live with Kelly and Mark. He talked about going on the road with his comedy show and having his 18-year-old son open the show with his own comedy set.
He's very funny, and we've done shows together before, but now we're going to do a 10-day bus tour through the South. It's exciting to go out and do shows with him, and it is nerve-wracking to watch your baby perform.
Can you imagine trying to sit there and hope that people aren't going to boo, hiss, throw things?
Yeah, and you're the actual headliner, and your opener's your son.
Pressure.
Well, she's speaking out about this, and I have to hand it to her. She's being totally honest. Dakota Johnson's opening up about Madam Web, detailing her feelings about the Marvel flop at the box office, and of course, getting bashed by critics and fans as one of the worst modern superhero films ever. As she had previously hinted, she said the project's script about, the paramedic with psychic powers was radically changed from when she originally read it. But in retrospect, she also felt like perhaps it isn't the right choice for the comic movie book world. See, she's being very honest, even though some critics thought she was actually really good in it. Quote, "It was definitely an experience for me to make that movie. I had never done anything like it before. I probably will never do anything like it again because I don't make sense in that world, and I know that now."
They have people that make a lot of money who make a lot of decisions before a movie happens. How did it even get that far? If even she had doubts.
Yeah, she had doubts. It got changed. She said it's so hard to make movies. And in these big movies that get made, it's even starting to happen with the little ones. It's really freaking me out. Decisions are being made by committees, and art does not do well when made by a committee.
No, and that being said, the internet is an ugly place. Just move on.
Super ugly place.
Just don't watch it.
She got bashed, but I'm really happy that she's speaking out about it and being super honest about it and saying, maybe it's just not my genre.
Yeah, that's just the weirdest story that it's gone this far down to the deep of the internet.
Well, Paula Abdul's allegations of sexual misconduct against, Nigel Lithgow, the producer, has caused him to step away, but he's not taking the claims lying down. He's even using her own words against her. He has filed legal papers in court that quote some of her emails and text messages. Oh, this is where he can fight back. Here's one of them. Hi, sweetheart. Thank you for this lovely gift. And that was from Paula Abdul. Here's another one, an email. Please forgive me for not calling you. Forever grateful to have you in my life. Love, love, love you. Lithgow even took a swipe at her hosting abilities and a very well-documented fabulist with a long history of telling wild stories that are untethered from reality. How do you think this is going to go?
Do you think that maybe she's had, did she maybe not remember all of those texts where love you, love you, love you?
I don't know, but he's saying, she tells wild stories, but,
Shouldn't you be able to trace back where it went wrong? You know what I mean? Was there, some sort of bad contract negotiation or something?
Apparently he's throwing shade at her for alleged substance abuse and questioning the truth of her 1992 plane crash. I have a feeling this is going to get super ugly.
Yeah, dude is digging out. I don't remember that. She was in a plane crash?
Yeah, I don't even remember that either.
I don't know that story, but you said something key. If this is a substance thing, it totally starts seeming clearer to me.
This is where people dig up their text messages and emails, and they could come back to bite you. Remember I told you about the Sopranos auction?
Yes.
The Tony Soprano booth at the very end of the show. This booth reserved for the Soprano family. Well, the restaurant, Holston's, is kind of doing some redecorating, so they put up this auction, started at $3,000. Where do you think it ended up, Barnes?
3. Well, the last thing you said, I think, was 60. So did it get over 100?
No, it was sold for $82,600. More than enough to cover the cost for their upcoming renovation. You know what they didn't sell? They didn't sell the jukebox that played Journey's Don't Stop Believin'.
Those are just not the kind of articles I would pay that kind of money for. You know what I mean? It's just going to sit there.
Yeah, but, maybe your wife would like to have it in your house somewhere.
I know, but then when someone comes in and says, oh, that's the Sopranos booth.
Yeah, I know.
And then you go, oh, and then you just keep going.
And nobody wants to sit there because they think they might get shot. Super excited about the Oscars. Do you remember when Ellen DeGeneres took that selfie with everybody? Do you know it's been 10 years?
It's been 10 years already?
Yeah, 2014. 10 years. And people are saying, oh my gosh, that was cursed because of all the people that were in it. So I took a little check here. Ellen was in it. Kevin Spacey. Yeah. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Meryl Streep.
What happened to her?
I guess she separated from her husband in 2017.
Oh.
Bradley Cooper, because he hasn't won an Oscar, but, he's Bradley Cooper. I don't think there's an issue there. Jared Leto, Julia Roberts, and then all sorts of other people like Jennifer Lawrence, Lupita Nyong'o, Channing Tatum. So some of them. Be careful if you do a selfie at the Oscars. That's your celebrity sleaze.